Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Crypto, Coffee and Lo-Fi. Just another quick episode today. Nothing much has changed from yesterday's episode, but we did see a decent daily close, so I'm now a little more confident in the idea that we could see a temporary breakup above this range. But there's still no trade here for me, so rather than getting chopped up on Bitcoin, I would rather take positions on something like AVE or Sushi or Sol, SRM, and I'll go over those setups in a sec. So here's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. At this point, because we have come so close to taking these highs, I think it's inevitable that during London Open or New York Open, we see a break above. Now, even if we break above, still no trade for me. I need to see, once we revisit this range, I need to see reaccumulation. So what does that look like? See a low, breaking below the low temporarily, then breaking above the highs responsible for taking that low. So if you're new here, this is essentially the premise for the entire strategy. I'm using one pattern to find accumulation, distribution, support, resistance, and I'm using that same pattern as my entry trigger. So even if we break up above this high, I think it's important not to FOMO into this resistance, especially because we are headed into higher time frame resistance here. So if we break above, looking for the reaccumulation. If we break above and fail to see the reaccumulation, and we fall back inside this range and actually form more distribution, so break above, fall back in, form a high, then break below the low that's responsible for taking that high, and then sell off. If we see something like this, then I think we take out these lows and reach the level that I was speaking about in yesterday's episode, or even possibly below these lows here. But just waiting for the reaction. So no trade just yet on Bitcoin. Now I wanted to go over SPX quickly, okay, because this is a perfect example of how you could use the easy in, easy out to trade a higher time frame trend. So if we go all the way back to the very start of the year, you can see we have a sweep right here, sweeping a level, breaking above the high, sweeping a level, breaking above the high. Perfect retest. As we retest, we just reaccumulate. So sweeping equal lows, breaking above the high, retest, forming the same pattern again, here, here, and here, right? So rather than assuming or looking for doom or looking for the stock market to crash until these patterns start to invalidate, then they're just easy logs, right? So we have sweeping a low, breaking above this high. So going long in this zone, we just stop below this level, looking for 5K. Now let's say we do start to break down, what would that look like? What would a full trend reversal look like? Firstly, we would have to obviously break some bullish levels. So we would have to invalidate this low, break below it, but then we would have to see this same pattern form again, but in the opposite direction. So we would need to see a high, a sweep, and then a structure break, something like this. Highly unlikely, but if we do see this pattern form after invalidating the bullish levels, then we can look to get short and then start to assume some downside targets. So nothing yet on Bitcoin. SPX, thinking we do see some upside until we see this pattern. Looking at AVE, so one of the better higher time frame looking charts. So we have sweep of a high, breaking above the high. A sweep of a low, breaking above the high is responsible for taking that low, forming the same pattern again. So yeah, sweeping out a key low, breaking above the high, sweeping out a key low, and breaking above the high. So I think if you are a swing trader and you are looking to get long on AVE, waiting for a daily close above this level and then a retest would be a solid entry. All the way up into 1500 or even 2K. But on the lower time frames here, we do have a setup as well. So I'm already long on this position. Invalidation is quite easy for me here. But I'll go over, actually, let's do the lower time frame setup first. So we have sweeping out a low, Sweeping out a low here. Then breaking above the high. Forming a bunch of equal lows here, which is making me think that we could potentially head lower, but regardless, it is a valid setup. So as we retest, we form the same pattern again, giving me a little bit more confidence in the upside. Now let's see if we can get another confirmation here. Just using the same pattern. Accumulation, distribution, and as the entry trigger. So looking for a break above here. I'll look to get long. Push up onto the hourly. So if you are interested in the way that I'm analyzing the charts and taking these positions, click the link in the description below, pick up a copy of the strategy. If we do break below these lows, which I think is possible because we do have those equal lows there, then I'll look for reaccumulation. So what would that look like? Just the same pattern. Sweeping low, breaking above, retesting this resistance turn support, and then looking for all-time highs into 500. But let's see what we get today. I am already long there. Similar setup on sushi. A little bit clearer without the equal lows on this though. Sweeping low, breaking above high. The retest. And then retesting right here. So we need this level to hold. If it breaks, then seeing some further downside, like I pointed out on AVE. So something like this. And then there is the entry trigger. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for today's episode. Bitcoin waiting for a breakout and then a retest, or a breakout. Looking for a breakout and then reaccumulation once we retest, or if we don't see the reaccumulation, looking for distribution. If we see that distribution, aiming for these lows and aiming for the bullish level that lies a little bit lower. SPX, a solid daily trend. This is an easy trade until we start to invalidate the bullish levels. And then AVE and sushi, looking to get long here. No worries, guys. That's it. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.